fabric from people, like people in my church,
Mm-hmm.
friends. I've been asking for things like kids fabrics, and I'm trying to find meaningful ways to turn them into quilts where it's sometimes I'm interested in like what you can do for patterns or textures, but sometimes it's also like what kind of meaning is carried in old
Yeah.
clothing? Like what's something made out of children's onesies? And I asked for the ones that are like stained and they can't pass on
Yeah.
anymore. But you've still got sections that you can cut out and use the fabric. So like what does that look like? Of course those are mostly knit, which is kind of a pain, but dress
That's really
shirts,
cool. I like it.
jeans. I've been getting coworkers who've ripped their jeans to
Yeah.
give them to me or ripped
Right,
other
right, right, right. I've got a
like just
tool
give me
here
your
that's for
quit stuff.
jeans. I've got a tool
Mm-hmm.
that June Taylor sent me that's about that you use with denim. That's a thing to
Hmm.
make things out of denim.
It's interesting. I should look into that because I don't have much in the way of tools. I've just sort of started making squares and seeing what happens. And I have ideas laid out for some of
Yeah,
like
hold
the
on just a sec. It's
conceptual
right here.
stuff.
Let me see if I can get it. Hold on just a second because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. Hold on.
This is Jean Taylor.
This is why we shouldn't do interviews at 6 o'clock in the evening because we're like really chill about it. Okay, so this is it, and it's called Charming
Okay.
Circles, and it says
Interesting.
for quick construction, it's what does it say? It says create fun and easy shabby chic projects using your repurposed denim and fabric scraps. Great for blankets, pillows, and tote bags. Charming ruler is sized perfectly to work with 5-inch charm squares or any 5-inch squares of fabric. Look at it makes this stuff.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah? Well, if you want to try it, I'll put it in the mail to you.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah.
Yeah? You would?
I have many jeans and I
Yeah?
have plenty of fabric.
All right,
Yeah, that
cool.
is one of the
All right, send me an email about that because I'll forget when we get done with this
okay.
thing. Yeah, let's try it. Like, let's see what you think. It's called Charming Circles. And it says, right, so, and it has a creativity center. You go to their website to see how to use it. But it looks like it's almost like, it'll be interesting. I'm really curious. Yeah. I'll send it to you in the mail.
All right, thank
I
you.
might open it
Wow.
and try it once, like just to see.
Oh yeah,
but
do.
I'll send it to you because I'm really curious. And so, like the rule, because this is my only rule. Just use it, try it, and then tell me how you like it. Now we are experiencing things. We're not judging. We're so not judging. We're not reviewing either. We're just experiencing it and sort of how these things help us, and we can imagine who it might be helpful for. So if we like it, that's great. But if we don't, we'll just say, who might be useful. But I think it would be really cool, and I can't wait to see what you do with it. So yeah, look,
Yeah.
it's all shabby and weird. And then look at this. It's kind of really interesting. It's got like grooves and stuff. I don't know
Oh,
what you do with
okay.
it. Isn't that interesting?
I wonder if that's for a marking pen to like. Yeah, I'll have
I
to
have
find
no
out.
idea. I don't know. I haven't opened it. All right, cool. I'm opening it
Yeah,
because I'm curious now.
yeah.
Topics we discussed was Ruth's going through tenure as a librarian, and I also had done too, so I cut that out because it's a little personal. But we pick it up when we talk about a project that Ruth might do for us as part of Just Wanna Quilt. I mean, I didn't quilt that much when I was going through tenure, I have to say. I quilted as a grad student. I did a lot of crafts as a grad student.
Yeah,
Now that I
same.
think about it, it's kind of interesting. Not a lot because I also had a babe, so I had a little one during tenure process, and just
Oh,
one though,
geez. You
just one.
survived.
I survived.
Yeah, but still.
But then after after becoming tenured, then I started quilting, and then after becoming full professor, it was like massive quilting. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
semi-retired. That's what I sort of say.
I mean, you're probably working a lot and writing a lot and organizing conferences a lot, but
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's ridiculous. That's an insane amount going on. Like, I
Yeah.
think there's too much going on, but I still like to think I'm retired. Like semi-retired. There's nothing about my life that's retired, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
Some days I tell people that I'm taking it easy, and then I look around and go, wait, no, I'm sorry. I misspoke.
Totally.
I'm applying for a
So
grant
I
this
think
year. I
like the
don't know.
next steps of what we should do is I would love for you to get a reading list together. If you're
Yeah.
interested in it, then if you make it as a Google doc, I can add it to the website and you can keep using it, but other people can see it if you're interested in sharing it. Also,
Sure.
I would love to have you work on G's Bend for us. and help us understand it. It would be so great. And if we do the conference, it'd be great to have you part of that. And then also a reading, like we should do some reading stuff, like choose a great piece and then have a reading group if we want, you know.
Copyright question for you.
Yeah.
How do we distribute the reading?
Oh,
Right?
Good question.
Because if I have access to this article and you have access to this article, because we are two comparatively well-funded institutions, although did your people just got into a giant fight with Elsevier, right? Like that wouldn't affect you in law, but I'm very proud of them.
We did? Tulane got in a big fight with Elsevier?
Somebody did down there.
Good question.
I'm trying to remember.
Well, let's
it was
find
over
out. So
the access to their access.
Okay, so we'll chat. We'll figure out whether it's under copyright or not. I think we want to do things that are across, like older pieces and newer pieces. We'll ask for permission when we have to, and we'll do fair use when we have to too. We also could potentially
something's like the open access.
Open access. Also, this is a project at Tulane, so we'll see what 108 elements we could use for distributing materials, and if in the last 20 years we can reproduce and distribute them as much as we want. So we'll just think about the copyright implications of being able to distribute materials to the general public.
I'm going to go to Brandy Carl, our copyright librarian, and say, Brandy,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember how you told me that I could, I should listen to this podcast? Now I've got some copyright questions for you about these readings.
Totally. Well, let's figure it out, and then let's post what we learn. So for people listening, what we're saying is we have as institutions, we get subscriptions to a whole bunch of journals, but part of the contract is that we aren't able to redistribute them, and because it's to a group that's outside of the university, we could be breaking that contract, and so that's one of the questions that we're having, but we'll figure it out. And this is it's an interesting problem to think about, but it would be great to put up. I mean, I would like to start thinking about. I would love to see your bibliography. I would love to start being able to figure out how we make it available to people and how we make the articles available to people. So let's ask Brandy, since it is coming from your institution, and tell her that we at Tulane will help her. So tell her it's a Copyright Research Lab project, and I think that's super interesting. How do we further educate the public on issues that are locked up in journals in universities? That's a really good question, and super important. And how can we understand our history if we can't get to the materials about our history? That's super important. So I think this is great. I really do. Yeah. I know it sounds silly. So we're going to use your librarian skills to have an incredible bibliography. We're going to use your Brandy, who I adore, who is just going to be like, I can just hear her. She's going to swear a lot.
She's going to swear so much.
A lot. And she knows me, and she works with me with the Durationator, so she's just going to be like, I can't believe what I've done, right?
Yeah. This is her fault. She knew me when she told me about this podcast and hooked us up. She knew both of us.
Awesome. And then G's Bend, and then you're going to send me an email. Can you send me an email with all this information on it? Because I'll forget. And then I'm going to send you this, and you're going to make something with this.
Yes. And I will post it on the site.
Cathedral. What are the cathedral windows? Looks like it's cathedral windows. Yeah, it actually does. That's what it is. Which I've had a failed attempt at that.
Oh gosh.
Well, but it looks interesting because it's like raw edge cathedral windows. That's what I think it might be.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they're doing the edges from that picture.
And there's a lot of directions.
Good.
I won't share them because
but do send them.
But I will definitely send them.
Because otherwise, I'll be sitting here going, "Well, this is pretty uncircular."
Yeah. So cool. Yeah. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. Yeah. All right, Ruth, this is super cool. I think what we need to do is you can come back on and chat about things you're reading about. Can you do that for me? Or even do little live Facebook feeds about articles that you read and just post it. Say, today I read this and this is really interesting, and just do it on Facebook as well so we don't get backed up and don't and do little lessons for us, because maybe we can't get to the articles because we aren't legally allowed to, but you can talk about them and tell us about them. Oh,
absolutely. I can do a presentation on anything, legally. Right. I can tell. I mean, I may not be able to do a live read, but I can legally tell you, oh yeah, in this article, she makes these 3 main points and her argument is this, and she references these people who I need to read, which is how it happens. I go down so many quilting, like quilt bibliography wormholes.
That's fantastic. Let's definitely do that. As you read, just do a little Facebook Live thing for us about what you read. What I read today. What did Ruth read today? It'll be like a thing. What did Ruth read
try
today?
doing like a weekly check-in.
Totally.
Especially since, I print articles and read them at lunch. It is possibly
it's
not the best thing
so
about
you
my
can do a
job,
live
but
Facebook feed, read, eat lunch. Be like, I'm having a tuna sandwich and I'm reading this article. This is
like I don't agree with this at all.
Yeah.
Like, nope, the person is right. Yeah, if I did that with my professional articles, there would be so much swearing. But my opinions about like these are a little slightly more removed and slightly more less personally affecting than I was cussing in an article last week. So a good time.
Well, I think we got a lot of things to do. I would love it. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm so glad that you joined and that you're willing to chat and play and use your librarian smartness to be part of our project. So awesome.
Well, it's been fun. And I rejoined a guild here in Pennsylvania this last week, but I've also been between guilds. So it's like nice to have an online support community where you can just kind of talk about things that you're interested in that are quilting that maybe nobody else around you is.
Yeah. And I hope that I really like all the Facebook communities, so don't get me wrong, I'm totally into them. What I'm seeing is a couple of interesting patterns so far, which is they're big, but they don't have a huge amount of people that are super active. Mm-hmm. So I've seen this twice at 2 different groups so far, where they have something happen and just a tiny proportion participate, which I think is really interesting. I'm hoping our group stays small but mighty, that everybody has something to contribute and that we really are learning about the quilting world. Like, that's the point of it. Like, it isn't about like for me, that's really the point of it. So that if you do see something and you say, hey, I want to do a Facebook Live thing about this event or your quilt guild or an article that you read, that it becomes our resource for further work, right? Like, I just think that it's like it is a research podcast and it is a research group where we all contribute. So I'm really hoping that we're super dynamic and that we use you to the fullest, Ruth, because now you just,
everybody uses me to the fullest, though. My associate dean will say, take a ticket.
Yeah, exactly. No, I understand.
But yes.
So cool. Well, just play. It's all about playing. It's not about stress.
And I have a lot of testing. I have so much testing of our search systems for articles to do. So I'll just start throwing the old article searches in and seeing what happens.
That's so great. And I would love, are you saving them? Can you save them and send them to me is there a way to do that? You can do that interlibrary loan, right? The academic. 108.
Yeah, academics people can do that. Yeah. And also, you can create shared Mendeley citation things too.
Fabulous. I love
so
that.
Like, I could see about putting together a group on Mendeley where you share all of your bibliographic citation info, and you can also upload PDFs on Mendeley, but that's getting into not only the sharing aspects, but I think also the space aspects, because there's only so much space.
I love it.
But yeah.
Yeah,
send me
stuff. I'm super psyched. My summer starts April 8th. I mean, I actually have other stuff to do, but I'm officially declaring it summer on April 8th. We even have like a plan. My kid and I have a plan of how to celebrate April 8th as the beginning of the summer for me. So yeah, I want to read. So tell me what to read.
That's wonderful. I'll tell you what to read. Yeah, my contract is 12 months, so
Well, mine is 2. Just the horribleness of the fall of the spring will be over on April 7th.
Yes,
we have 2 major conference, like a major conference and all these other stuff. But by April 8th should be calm, and then we're going to Paducah. Yeah,
I'm hoping next year. I have this group of women that we are supporting each other through the tenure process, and we're planning in mid-May to go out to Harper's Ferry.
Oh.
But I said next year I'm going to go to Paducah. You should come with me to Paducah.
Very cool. Well, hopefully we'll be there, and we're also going to think about Houston next year. So we're going to go to Houston. So.
Yeah, I have a Mennonite friend down there who's in that quilting scene a little bit. She helps arrange some of the stuff, but not with the Houston Fair, but with the auctions that the Mennonites do down there. And she says it's an amazing place to be. She goes so she can go and stuff.
That's awesome. All right, we have more things to talk about. Let's make it a regular thing. Let's chat and do stuff and be active and play and send you tools and